It's pretty amazing how we can set out to complete a project not knowing that that project will teach us something. Jim Rohn said that in personal development, it's not so much the action that takes place or the process, but what you actually become going through that process. Well, it's the builder, and it's time to build minds with minds like mine. Welcome to W.I.L.L Wednesdays. It don't have anything to do with the day of the week, but it has everything to do with what you think, feel, and speak. It has to do with your ability to win each day. The projects that we take on sometimes can teach us something. I learned a distinct lesson this past weekend that some things that we go to build actually have to be taken apart and rebuilt again to find completion. See, I set out to build a fire pit for the family. You know, somewhere we could sit around and not so much just keep warm, but roast marshmallows and create memories with one another. But there was instructions because there was actually a fire pit kit. It all came with a certain amount of stones and the hardware and everything that was necessary. But every tool that was needed to complete that project wasn't included. So, did I seek help and see if there was someone that could help me? Sure. But they just weren't available. So here it was. I was to take on a project that I had never ever done before, and something was to be learned completing this project. So we embarked upon it. Some of the tools we had and some of the tools we didn't. But it took work, it took effort, and much to my amazement, in the instructions, not everything was listed because there were certain things that you just weren't gonna know until you took action. So until I begun working on the project and putting it all together and mapping out the space to figure out exactly where the pit was going to go in the backyard, I had no idea what was actually going to happen next. Well, once the space was cleared and then the land had to be leveled. But isn't that a lot like the things we do in life? There's something in mind that we want to do, and we may have some of the small instructions to get it done, may even get started and realize we don't have all of the tools to complete that particular project. But it's up to us to decide whether or not we keep going. Just like it was up to me to decide, am I going to finish out this project? For me, nothing would have stopped me from seeing the smile on my wife and daughter's face because, hey, now my daughter has a place to go and with her friends in time, make s'mores and create endless memories. Or just the wife and I being able to sit back with maybe a glass of wine and put our feet up. But it was important that the project get done. It wasn't just about the fire pit. It was all the memories that could be created from around the fire pit. But as I began to put it together and I laid the stones in a circle and I stacked them on one another and it all started to come together and I finally felt like, hey, I'm almost finished. But then the directions called for me to take all of the stones back down because now I knew where they were supposed to go. Now I had to add the concrete and cement adhesive to make sure that once it was put back together, it would stay that way forever. It would be fixed in place, not to be removed or changed or altered. But first, before we approach completion, we had to actually see if we could build it properly. See if the ground and the space at which we had chosen was actually level in order for the project to be completed. Listen, I understand we all don't know what we don't know, so we must continuously look for room to grow. In order to create the memories you want, in order to find success in the projects that you embark upon, you gotta go through it. And sometimes you gotta build it up first and then take it all apart to only rebuild it again before you can reach a state of completion. Now listen, I'm not telling you it's going to be easy, but I am telling you it's going to be worth it. And if you will, I will, we will. Let's build.